everyone, and welcome to class. I'm Kate. I'm an English teacher here on Verbling. And today's class is for intermediate to advanced students, and it's a class on phrasal verbs. So phrasal verbs is a notoriously difficult subject in English, and it's something that students will have to practice time and time again. And today we'll be looking at some very common phrasal verbs. We'll be learning them in context and then practicing them in a speaking activity. So welcome, students. Hi, Nader.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Do you have any weekend plans?
Today is almost finished. Tomorrow I have some errands. Because today was an off day for us.
You had an off day. And remind me where you're from again?
I'm from Egypt.
From Egypt, that's right. That's right. Okay, cool. And so did you have a relaxing day? Were you in classes all day?
Yes, I was almost in classes all day.
Okay, good, good. Taking advantage of your day off.
Yeah.
All right. And hi, Roa.
Hi, Kate.
Nice to see you again.
Me too. How are you?
I'm doing well. You look cold. Are
Yes.
you cold?
Yes.
Is it cold there?
Yes. In my apartment. Yes, it's
Yeah. In my apartment, it's cold also.
cold. Yeah, really good.
Yeah. But anyway. And it's not that cold outside, but for some reason in this room, in my apartment, it's always quite cold. So.
Yes, like our here.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And Mustafa, I thought I was never going to see you again.
No, you will see me now and maybe next class.
Ah, okay. So you meant today.
I said last day,
you
teacher.
Oh,
Last
I thought you said the last class.
It's okay, okay.
All right. So I don't have to say bye just yet. All right. So how are you doing? How's your day?
My day is good actually.
Have you been on Verbling all day?
Yeah, I'm very playing actually. I come from like uncontrolled class. So we're eating in the class and some of them like I hope will be controlling class. Control.
Good. All right. Well, I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you, teacher.
Who else is here? Julio?
Julio, so
Hi.
can you hear from me?
I can hear you.
Well, because I am not sure if my mic was performing well.
It's working. It's working.
This is my second class in Berlin.
Your second class in Verbling.
Yes, I am a new
I'm going to ask you.
a new student.
And how do you like it?
I'm from Spain,
You're from Spain. Okay, very cool. What part of Spain are you from?
just the capital, Madrid.
Okay, very cool. I actually live in Spain. I'm
Do
from
you?
the United States, but I live in Spain,
Well,
in Barcelona.
Barcelona. Well,
So
nice to meet
very
you.
nice to meet you. You too. Great. And so today, has today been your first day on Verbling, Julio?
No, the second class.
Second day. Second class?
Second day. And the second day, yes.
Got it. Okay, cool. Well, great to meet you. And then Juan? Hello? Juan, can you hear me? Your microphone is muted. Okay, not sure if you can hear me, but welcome. Very nice to meet you. Arina? Arina, are you there? Your microphone is also on mute. Okay, also nice to have you here.
Shy today.
I know, we're having a shy class today. Well, nice to have both of you here. My name is Kate. Hello again, Ali.
Hello, teacher.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. I had a little break. I was watching TV, relaxing. Yeah.
I worked, unfortunately.
I should have been working. I have a lot of work for my classes and things, but anyway, I felt like I needed a break. And who else do we have here? I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm really sorry. Shinue? Shinue?
Hello, teacher.
Even you.
I'm really sorry if I pronounce. How do you pronounce your name?
You can call me then you.
Shinyu.
Great.
Is that okay?
Okay, no
Okay.
problem.
Okay, perfect. Nice to meet you. Where are you calling from?
It's a secret. I'm
It's a
from
secret.
China.
From an undisclosed location.
I'm from China.
From China. Okay, cool. And how long have you been on Verbling?
I have been wobbling for 2 years.
For 2 years. Wow. So you have been on Verbling for longer than I have.
I only joined the class for about 1 month.
Oh, okay. So you've been on on Verbling for a while, but you were watching before?
In the past, I only watched videos
Okay.
made by teachers in wobbling,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't actually join the class and talk to teacher. I
Oh,
finally
okay.
it's better to communicate with teacher.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I try my best to give my money to the wobbling.
Good. Well, I'm happy to have you here participating in class. It's nice to meet you.
You are welcome. I like your patient.
Good.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
speak a
Yeah.
lot.
You
I
speak a
have
lot.
to
That's
give
good.
my chance to the other students to talk.
We have a lot of big talkers in this class, right, Mustafa?
I,
Did you hear what I said?
What do you mean?
All right, but we have a lot to do today. So we'll get to it. As you all know, this class is about phrasal verbs. A constantly, stressed over subject for English learning students. Have you all studied phrasal verbs before? Do you know what phrasal verbs are? Do you find them difficult? How do you all feel about this topic?
Yeah, we studied before, but
Studied
we
them
don't have
before.
any idea. We forget all.
And Mustafa is scared now? Okay. So, what is a phrasal verb?
Phrasal verb. It's
Yes.
a combination from two words, maybe, or more.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
And
Meaning of something.
yeah. Okay, absolutely. Other comments. What is a phrasal verb?
It's a verb plus a preposition,
A verb plus a preposition. Good. Mm-hmm.
which may change the meaning entirely.
Yes, absolutely. True. Okay, and so and why would we use a phrasal verb when we could often just use one verb?
Because I heard it's good for the rhythm.
It's what?
It's good for the rhythm of the language.
Yeah.
For the rhythm.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Some native speakers like to use phrasal verb.
Yep. Yeah, so we use them all the time. And there are probably a lot of phrasal verbs that you make use of without even realizing it, right? When you're talking about your daily routines, you say, I got up and I got dressed, all right? Got up is a phrasal verb, right? It's a phrasal verb because it's the verb to get plus a preposition or particle. Often, these phrasal verbs can be replaced by one single verb that is more formal than the phrasal verb. So phrasal verbs we use a lot in conversation. If you can successfully integrate them into your language, you will sound a lot more natural as a speaker. So today,
Sorry,
yes.
just have a question. Just one question.
Uh-huh.
You asked a very good question actually. Why you use a phrasal verb? And can you answer that question clearly from your opinion?
So yeah, of course. So we use phrasal verbs because they'll often replace a single verb that is too formal for the given context. So, for instance, I hear a lot of students say something like, what's a good example? I arrived at the party. I arrived at the party. That's fine, right? It's perfectly correct English, but it's not something we tend to say. We don't tend to use it speaking. And especially as a question, it's very rare to hear a native speaker say, "What time did you arrive at the party?" Instead, we'll replace it with a phrasal verb. Does anyone know what phrasal verb we would use in this case?
Got.
Yeah.
I got two.
Exactly. I got to the party, right? So what time did you get to the party? Oh, I think I got to the party at about 7, right? So there are things like this, situations like this where, you have the choice, but it's just one of those things. It's built into our language, and if you can successfully learn how to use them, which I think is something you have to practice, and not avoid. A lot of students avoid completely phrasal verbs, right? Then you can sound a lot more fluid and a lot more like a native speaker. All right, so I want to jump into this exercise. We're going to be looking today at phrasal verbs that are preceded by come, get, give, go, and look. Okay, so I'll type those words into the box.
Wow.
So, come, get, give, go, and look. These are 5 verbs, and they're used in what feels like an infinite number of phrasal verb combinations, right? Come in, come up, come out, get in, get to, get up, get out, get away, give up on, give in, go on, go out, look up, look on, look upon, look to, okay? Just off the top of my head, right? So many phrasal verb combinations can be made with just these 5 verbs, right? By adding prepositions or particles that just completely change the meaning of the verb in context. So instead of just telling you, come in, that means to enter. Look up, that means to get better, right? And just, teaching them to you like that, I want you to see these phrasal verbs first in context. So we're going to do an exercise here where you have a sentence with a missing word. And the word that's missing is one of those 5 verbs. So the missing word will either be come, get, give, go, and look. And what you'll have is you'll have the rest of the phrasal verb, so the particles or prepositions, and then at the end of the sentence you'll have a definition of what the whole phrasal verb means together. Okay, so basically we'll be doing an exercise and we'll just be trying to figure out how these phrasal verbs are used in context. So let me share my screen with you so that this becomes clear. All right, so let's look at sentence number 1 as an example. Okay, so let's see. Nader, can you read sentence number 1?
Doctors realized there was going to be a problem when several people in the same village down with suspected food poisoning to become ill with a particular disease.
Okay, so thank you. So here we have a missing word, and what goes in this blank is one of the 5 verbs I said before. Come, excuse me. Come, get, give, go, and look. Okay, and then together, the whole phrasal verbs together means whatever the definition at the end of the sentence is. So it's kind of looking at the definition, seeing if in context you can come up with what you think is the correct phrasal verb. So does anyone know what word should go in into the first sentence?
Get
Maybe.
down.
Get down is a phrasal verb, but in this case it's not the correct one.
Calm down.
Come down with.
Calm
Yeah.
down.
So to come down with something means what?
Hmm.
Anyone?
Get along with.
Nope. To become ill, right? So it's, you have the definitions there. To become ill with some disease, you can say, I came down with food poisoning, or I came down with the flu, right? Any type of illness.
Mhm.
To get down is a different meaning, and you can Google it. I'll just say that. It's not the most appropriate. Okay? All right. So we'll move on to sentence number 2. Can someone read the second sentence and try to fill in the blank with what you think is the appropriate word?
I can read, but
Okay.
I'm not sure about the answer. But I'll try.
Okay. You can guess.
Will often blank up the idea of starting their own company when they realize the risk that are involved. To no longer want to do something. What is it? So it's only come or get to and get give go look.
Uh-huh.
I don't think so. I think it's give.
But I didn't say the answer.
He hasn't said an answer yet.
Okay.
What do you think it is, Mustafa?
Yeah.
So give.
Yeah, to give up. Okay, so I'm sure this one is probably familiar with a lot of you, right? To give up. What does it mean to give something up?
To abandon the idea or to
Yeah, exactly. That's a really great synonym, to abandon.
Or quit.
Or
Quit something.
to quit. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
to quit
Stop.
maybe more familiar will be.
Uh-huh. To quit, to abandon, absolutely. Absolutely. Good. Great. Okay, number 3. Who would
I
like
can
to
do
read?
that one.
Okay, go ahead.
Before entering into an agreement, it is essential to look over the details very carefully.
Perfect.
So it is look over.
Yep. And what does it mean to look something over?
To, well, it says to check something carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Look over. Yeah, to make like check every detail to make
Yeah.
sure you don't miss anything.
Exactly. So what are some other things you could look over?
Look over.
A tricky question. Does anyone know?
Exam.
An exam? Yeah, you could look over an exam before you turn it in.
Yeah, sure.
You could look over a draft of something. You could look over an essay. You could look over someone's homework, right? It's basically to check something. Exactly. And I just realized that someone joined and I didn't see you come in. Ramsey? Ramsey, are you there?
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes. How's it going? All right. So, Ramsey, oh, you're there. Okay. I think there might be a bit of a delay.
Okay, hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Great. All right. So, who would like to read number 4?
I?
Me.
All right. I'll let Ramsey do this one. So you go do this one, and Ali, you can do the next one. All right, so go ahead, Ramsey.
Okay, people who live in close proximity to one another must learn to meet their neighbors. Try to like someone and be friendly to them. Actually, I don't know. I don't have any idea.
Okay, no worries. Does anyone know what should go into this?
Get on.
Get on.
With.
Yes, good. To get on with. And does anyone know if this is British or American?
I think it's American.
British.
British, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because
Good.
you asked.
Exactly, because I asked. Okay, and yeah, does anyone know what the American version of this would be?
Get along with.
Get along with.
Get along with.
To get along with someone. Very good. So both options are absolutely correct. Okay, very nice. Who would like to do number 5? Ali?
Okay.
Oh.
It's difficult.
It's difficult. All right. If you go ahead. Ali, you do another one if you don't want to do this one.
I can try. I don't know. I am not sure, but I can try. It was only after he get into his inheritance, after his father died, that he was able to expand the company. To get into, maybe, I am not sure.
Oops. Sorry, I forgot I was muted. To get into, not quite. Not quite.
Come into?
Yeah, to come into.
Mm.
And this one is curious. It's sort of very idiomatic. It doesn't make a ton of sense, but we use it a lot when we're talking about inheritance, right? He came into money, or he came into fortune, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it says here to receive money or property when someone dies. It's kind of a bizarre one, but we talk about it a lot when talking about families or history, things like that.
Is this in the sense of receiving his inheritance or money?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so maybe, his uncle, he had a very wealthy uncle, and his uncle died,
Yeah.
and left all of the money to him. We would say, and before he'd been very poor, and now all of a sudden he had, millions of dollars. We'd say, oh, he came into money, right?
Yeah.
Okay, something like that. All right, very good. That one's a tricky one. A very tricky one. All right, let's look at number 6. Who would like to read that one?
Sometimes it can take me a while to get around to doing important tasks.
Good.
To do something after you have intended to do it for some time.
Good. Yeah, to get round to, or to get around to. So again, this is a British American English thing. So to get round to is British. We tend to say to get around to. And it just means to do something, right? You've been waiting for a long time to do something, and then you finally get around to doing something. So so what's something that you have finally gotten around to doing?
Mm-hmm.
A question for the class. Tell me about something that you just got around to doing.
If I failed in the exam, I have to get around to do it.
Okay, so you have to get around to studying so you can take it again.
Yes.
Okay, good. Other examples?
I finally got around to meet with my friends.
Good, Arina. Very good. Right, so you've been delaying it, maybe you were busy, and you finally got around to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we are starting to get around to using phrasal verbs in English.
Love it. I love it, Julio. Excellent. Right? So you're finally getting around to using phrasal verbs. Excellent. Good.
If I didn't win the lottery, I would get around to buy more.
You would buy more lottery tickets.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I got it. Good.
Mm.
All right, let's move on to number 7. Who can read number 7?
Okay, maybe.
All right, Ali.
New legislation lays down strict penalties for vehicles which get off, excess exhaust,
Okay.
produce a gas or smell.
All right, so not quite.
Not get off?
So get off exists, right? And it means to really enjoy something. But here it's a different meaning. To produce a gas or smell is a different phrasal verb. Does anyone know?
Give off.
Give off.
Yeah, to give off. To give off. Good.
Emit.
Uh-huh. So to produce is the synonym they use. There's also another much more formal synonym. Does anyone know what
Emit.
it would be? To emit. Yeah, to emit. Excellent. To produce or emit. Very good. All right. So number 8. Who can read number 8?
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
What is lay down?
What is what? Ah, lay down. Okay, excellent. That's actually that's another phrasal verb, right? So to lay down means to put in place, to establish.
Mm.
So they-
Establish.
To establish or to create.
Mm.
Very
Thank
good
you.
question. And that's also a
Thank you.
phrasal verb. Very nice. Good. All right. Who can read number 8?
We can say set forth.
What's that?
Set forth. Set forth.
To set forth. So set forth is more like when you begin a journey. You can say you set forth on a journey, right? You begin a journey. I think what you might be thinking of is put forward. To put forward in this case would work, but set forth doesn't work in this case. It's a little bit different. It's like when a person begins a journey. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, good question. All right. Other questions so far? All right. So who wants to try number 8?
Okay.
Okay, Mustafa.
People who want to know how to look about starting their own company should talk to trainer or advisor.
To what about?
Look.
Not quite. This one is tricky as well. Does anyone?
Go about?
To go about, yeah. To go about. And what does it mean to go about?
To solve this problem?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So sort of to go about something is to do something. To actually proceed in doing something. Right? To solve a problem, to do something, to get started doing something. Okay? All right. Number 9.
I can do that.
Okay.
When supply of a particular good exceeds... Oh, okay. When supply of a particular good exceeds demand, it is common for the price to come down.
To come down? Yeah, okay. In this case, there are 2 correct options.
Go down.
To come down or to go
okay.
down.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But you can say, I was thinking to go down, but you could say to come down as well.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it just means to become cheaper, right?
Mm-hmm.
To become cheaper. So basic rule of economics here. All right. Number
Teacher,
10.
I have a
Yes.
question.
Yes.
For this answer, can we use cut down?
Can we use?
Cut down. Cut down.
Cut down?
Mm.
No. So good question, because cut down is a very important phrasal verb, right? It's a very important one, but it has a different meaning. Does anyone know when we use the phrasal verb to cut down?
To ignore the quality.
No,
Cut down the number of cigarettes.
Yeah. So
I
when
think
Increase.
restricting or something.
Good.
Reduce something.
Yeah, so all of those are
Reduce,
good
yes.
answers,
Decrease.
absolutely. So to reduce the amount you do something, or restrict the amount you do something. And someone gave a very good example of cigarettes, right? A lot of people say, oh, I'm trying to cut down on smoking, or I'm trying to cut down on eating sweets, right? Whatever it is. So to cut down, to reduce. All right. Other questions? All right, so let's look at number 10. Who can read number 10? Who's been quiet? Roa, can you read number 10?
Okay, sorry. Nothing of the company's plans to develop solar powered vehicles to be the result of something. Okay.
What do you think? This one is tricky.
Okay. Get off.
Not quite.
Okay.
Does anyone know?
Come off.
Come off.
Yeah, to come of. Oh, sorry, could you hear me? All right,
Yeah.
sorry about that. Okay, to come of. So here, this is sort of a phrasal verb, but we almost always use it in one specific expression, which is after nothing. So we'll often say, nothing came of, or nothing good will come of that, right? Or nothing will come of da-da-da, which just means that nothing productive will result from this, right? So in this case, this company had all of these plans, new technology, whatever, but in the end, and they spent a ton of money, they invented all of this new stuff, but in the end, nothing productive really came out of it. Nothing productive happened as a result. Questions? Okay, and I think it's almost exclusively, again, used in expressions like this, so after the word nothing, curiously. But it's quite common. All right, let's look at number 11.
The final bill for the project will get to almost $10 million, reach a particular total when everything is added together. I think this is the omnipresent get.
You think this is the only one that's get?
Get to.
To get to. So here, get to would be okay, but there's a more natural sounding phrasal verb that we tend to use when we're talking about a total amount of money. Does anyone know what it is?
You mean, teacher?
Go to?
To come to.
To come
to. Yeah, this one is curious because get to, it sounds okay, right? It doesn't sound, wrong, but the thing that we tend to use is come to, and so and it happens, if you're shopping in a supermarket, the person who works there might say, okay, that'll come to, or your total will come to $10. right? So it's whenever we're talking about a sum of money. So in this case, $10 million, right? The final bill. All of the expenses added up. We use the phrasal verb to come to amount to.
Yeah.
All right. Good. All right. Number 12. Who would like to read number 12?
I can do that one.
Thank you.
For most poor people, get out of the cycle of poverty can be next to impossible.
Yes.
So get out of.
Okay, this one is so correct phrasal verb, but the wrong part of speech, or sorry, the wrong form of the verb, the wrong tense.
Oh.
Getting.
Yeah, this one's
Getting
tricky.
out. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Good. So for most poor people, getting out of the cycle of poverty can be next to impossible. Good. So to get out of something means what?
Get out.
Escape.
Yeah. Or even more generally, to avoid something, right? So in two different ways, it can be avoid or escape.
But it is in the sense of, it is similar, for example, because it is different to avoid than to exit from a situation.
Yes. And those are the two different meanings. So in this case, it means to escape, actually.
Escape. To avoid, not to exit.
In this case, it means to escape, it means. In this case, I would say escape is a better meaning in this particular sentence. But one thing we say a lot is we talk about wanting to get out of plans or get out of compromises, right?
I see. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great question. All right. Number 13. Any volunteers? Chinyue, you're up.
In any dispute with an insurance company, it's usually the consumer who comes off the worst.
Yes, very good. Was that a lucky guess or you knew?
I am almost known about this.
Okay, good. Yeah, and so to come off means what?
To achievement.
What's that?
Complete.
To achieve.
To achieve, yeah, to achieve, to have a particular result, or even it can also mean to give a certain appearance, right? To give a certain appearance. Okay?
Okay, Kate, what is the meaning of a dispute?
Dispute, good question. A dispute is an argument. A dispute is an argument.
And another synonym is quarreling or not?
A quarrel. So quarreling is the gerund, right? It's the verb. A quarrel can be an argument, and to quarrel is the verb.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Number 14.
Me.
Took a long time for the country to get over the effects of the disaster.
Okay. To get over, a fairly straightforward one, right? Just meaning to recover. To recover from something. So, what are some things you can get over?
Illness.
Illness.
You can get over an illness. What else?
Problems.
Problems.
Addiction.
Addiction, yeah. All different types of things, and we often use it as an imperative. A broken
relationship.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say a broken heart, which is true. A broken relationship. Yeah, and so we'll often say, you know, if we think people should be acting more mature or are being a little bit dramatic, we'll say, get over it, right? Get over it. You're reacting too strongly to this. Okay. Number 15. Any volunteers?
I guess I can do that. I'm not sure about the answer, but
Okay, I like your attitude. All right, now, go ahead.
okay. The threat of severe punishment means that many criminals refuse to themselves up to police. Give themselves up.
Yeah. And so to give yourself up means what?
Well, it says
Turn
to
yourself
surrender.
into.
What's that?
Surrender.
Turn yourself into.
Yeah.
To surrender or to turn yourself in. Good. Another phrasal verb, right? To turn yourself in. And what's the difference between to give up and to give yourself up?
To give up mean to
abandon, to
Yeah. To give up is to abandon, right?
to stop trying to do something.
Good. Very good.
I think give up if you want to quit something. Maybe give yourself up. You don't want, but you have to do something.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. Great. All right. Number 16.
Okay, maybe me.
Ali.
Okay. Some people tend to look down on others who are less fortunate poorly because of their financial situation.
To look down on. Good. And what does it mean to look down on someone?
To think you are better
Don't
than
respect
others.
someone.
Yeah, don't respect.
Disrespect.
Yeah, so both of you are right. So to think you're better than someone, not to respect someone, absolutely. All right, number 17.
Give in. Give in.
what?
What are you saying?
Give in.
Give in, I guess.
Okay. Can you read the sentence?
The government had decided to stand firm on their decision, but under pressure from protesters, they decided to give in and reduce taxes on gasoline to stop competing or argue and accept that you can't win.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. So to give in means to just, it's a synonym for another phrasal verb, actually.
Give up.
To give up, yeah. Basically, so to give in and to give up are very similar, right? It kind of means to surrender, to say, okay, even though I don't agree, fine, we'll do things your way. We'll do things your way. I can't win. I give in.
Can we use forgo?
Can we use?
Forgo. To forgo.
To forgo. So to forgo has a little bit of a different meaning. What do you mean by to forgo?
To To give up the idea, or
Yeah.
not to stick to the idea.
Yeah, so to forgo usually means to pass something up. Like you have the option of doing something and you decide to forgo it. You decide not to do it. So it has a slightly different meaning. So, for instance, you might say, I was invited to a Christmas party this year, but I've been sick for the last few weeks, so I think I'll forgo it. Right? Or we can talk about foregoing a chance. It's just when you have the option to do something and you pass it up.
Yeah.
Slightly different meaning. But
Is
yeah,
it formal?
it is pretty formal. Yeah.
Mm.
So I would say
Thank you.
the informal version of to forgo would be to pass up.
It's similar to renounce.
To renounce, to forgo. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They're both similar and they're both rather formal.
Yeah.
And if you want to use something that means a similar thing, a phrasal verb that's a little bit less formal, you can say to pass up.
Mm-hmm.
To pass up. All right. And we have one more, and then we're going to practice these. Who can do number 18?
I will pass up.
You'll pass it up. Let's see. Who's been quiet? Who can I pick on? Juan, are you there? No, he's not there. Well, I guess everyone's been pretty participative. Mustafa, why don't you read this one? Mustafa? Okay.
By the time, okay, I'll take it.
All right, Nader. Go ahead.
By the time the message went through, it was too late to evacuate the residence, to be connected to someone by telephone, email, text message, etc.
Yeah, good.
Went through?
Yeah, good. And so here you have a couple of options actually. So you could say went through or got through. Yeah.
Come through?
Yes, also came through. You could say came through as well. Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Oh,
So you can say to get through, to come through, or to go through. And that means to be connected, to have a message be sent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Questions?
How it isn't about this phrasal verb, but it's common questions. How can we can I keep this phrasal verb and remember them when I wanna use them?
Excellent question. Okay, so a few strategies. Number one, I think, should be making flashcards. Do any of you use flashcards to study vocabulary and expressions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And what is a flashcard for maybe people who don't know?
It's a card with two sides. One you write the word. On one side you write the word or the verb or whatever, and the other side is the answer, like the picture or the meaning.
Okay, good. And do you use these?
No.
Does anyone use them?
Sometimes I had used this type of tool for memorizing words and expression in software, because there are several software programs for Windows and also for Android with this type of mechanism of strategy.
Yeah, definitely. And I was actually about to say that. And which programs do you like to use, Julio?
I just don't remember the name, but I remember one software. I don't remember the name, but there is one very famous for
Anki?
Anki.
Anki?
Yes, I don't remember.
Okay, there's one that's called Anki. It's very famous, and it's a really good flashcard app. And so the reason flashcards, I know it might seem, silly. I know your teachers in school probably told you to make these, right? But they're actually extremely effective from, a psychological standpoint. If you are studying these words, if you're testing yourself all the time, you actually learn them much better than than other methods of study. So actually testing yourself and trying to recall the information will help you to remember these a lot better. So that's just a pure vocabulary learning strategy. The other thing I would say is use them in conversation, right? Make it a goal. Maybe choose a couple of phrasal verbs a week and try to use them in conversation, whether that's in a verbling class, with an English-speaking friend, with a teacher, whatever, but use it or lose it, right? You want to make sure you're using these, and it's okay if you make mistakes,
Yes,
right? People will understand.
For example, Kaylin, I hope you get over your cold soon.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
It means that you are cold.
I have a cold, yes. I've been sneezing all day. And thank you very much, Julio. Okay, and so what I want to do for the last, well, we don't have too much time, but is to just practice using these in sentences. So what I want you to do is actually exactly what Julio just did. I want you to choose a phrasal verb and think of a question you can ask one of your classmates using that phrasal verb. So choose one of the phrasal verbs we studied today and think of a question you can ask the class using that phrasal verb.
To Zenio, if you made a crime, would you give yourself into the police, or give yourself to, or up?
Give yourself up to?
Give yourself up to the police.
Good. So if you committed a crime, would you give yourself up to the police? Good question. And who was that for?
He asked me.
Okay.
He asked me. I'm thinking. I like your Shakespeare. If usually I don't call the policeman. I often solve this problem by myself.
Okay, and what if it was a really bad crime?
For the really bad crime, I would ask my friend to help me.
Okay, you would ask your friends to help you. Good. Good. Great. All right, a great example. Other questions with other phrasal verbs?
Teacher, I have a question for you.
Yes.
If I had a big if I had a big L, could you give me some advice to get over?
What's that?
If he had serious illness, would you give him advice? What was it?
If I had the bad disease, could you give me some advice to get over?
To get over it. Okay, good question. Good question. I'm not a medical expert, though, so I'll have to defer this question to the class. What advice would you give him to get over his illness?
What's your illness?
What's your illness?
I came back from Africa.
Ah, you have Ebola.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. So what advice would you give him to get over Ebola?
But it is impossible to get infected through internet.
Through internet, yes. Through internet, yes.
In my opinion, the best way is to kill myself.
Ooh, that's a little morbid.
That's
A little morbid.
You
All right.
can't get over it. Give up.
You can't get over it. All right. I have another question for the class. Do you get on well with your family members, or do you fight?
That's a good question. And when I was younger, I often hit my wife, but now
Wow.
I surrendered my wife.
Okay. Extreme. All right. Anyone else?
it's high priority for me to get along with my family, so I always try my hardest.
You'll always try your hardest. Good.
Yes.
Good. Good. So is there anyone in your family that you just don't get on well with?
Well, we have some disagreements, but at the end of the day, we all get along well. Yeah.
Good. And let's see. I have another question for Ali. Ali, if you had to start your own business, how would you go about doing that?
Start my own business.
How would you go about doing that?
I have my own business.
I know, and that's why I asked you. So, if someone wanted to start his or her own business, how should he or she go about doing it?
I don't know. It depends what business or what work they want to do.
I can help you. If you don't enough money, I will give you a lot of money. You can begin your business.
Right. A very generous classmate you have here. Very generous classmate.
Give me your account.
I'll give you my account. I'll give you my account.
My advice maybe look over their budget or their money and search about the selling or trade in their city or country.
Good. Yeah. And so that sounded very much like an accountant's answer to that question. To look over the budget first, right? All right. Okay, so we're just about out of time. Keep practicing these. I know it might seem overwhelming, but we'll keep working on them. Don't worry. I have another class on idioms coming up next. A lot of more fun, complicated English. So thank you all for your participation. I hope you all learned something, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye, students.
Thank you, Caroline.